Welcome back to Hollywood Bulletin. Get ready for one of the most emotional and powerful stories you will ever hear. A journey filled with shocking confessions, family secrets, survival, and the strength to rise from the darkest places. Because today we are going deep into the life of Paris Jackson, the daughter of the King of Pop, whose truth shook the world and whose fight for peace and identity has been nothing short of extraordinary. So watch until the end because every moment will make you see her in a whole new light. In 2017, Paris Jackson, then just 18 years old, spoke the words that changed everything.
And they're basically measuring my love for my own father based off of what I post.
She looked at the world and declared that her father's death was no accident, but a setup. She said it with certainty that stunned everyone, claiming Michael Jackson had warned her people wanted him dead, that they would kill him one day, and that he even wrote letters about fearing for his life. But what she revealed next was darker still. She compared seeking justice for her father to playing chess, saying she had to be careful, leaving everyone wondering, what does she really know, and why is the Jackson family fighting so hard to keep certain truths buried? Paris's life story began long before she was born. In the late 1970s, when Michael, his sister LaToya, and their friend Kathy Hilton made a playful promise that if any of them had a daughter, they would name her Paris. Years later, on April 3, 1998, Michael kept that promise when his daughter Paris Michael Catherine Jackson was born, purportedly conceived in the city of Paris itself. The name carried layers of meaning, and it was shared with Kathy Hilton's own daughter, Paris Hilton, creating a special bond between the families. But the sweetness of that promise contrasted sharply with the controversy surrounding her birth. Michael's marriage to Debbie Rowe was seen by many as an arrangement rather than a love story. Rumors swirled that Debbie agreed to give Michael the children he longed for and then step away. After their divorce, she received millions, and years later, even more, in exchange for giving up parental rights. Though lawyers denied it, the public was never convinced. Paris's early life at Neverland Ranch was like no other. Michael's obsession with protecting his children meant Paris and her brothers wore masks in public. A decision she didn't understand as a child but later realized was his way of giving them some normalcy away from prying eyes. After his death, the masks disappeared, but the memory of them never did. Even her godparents were far from ordinary, with Elizabeth Taylor and Macaulay Culkin offering her guidance from their own experiences and fame. Paris spent most of her childhood in isolation, homeschooled until 6th grade. And when she finally entered a regular school after Michael's death, she felt overwhelmed, struggling to fit in. And the years of isolation left deep scars. Her first unforgettable public moment came at age 11 when she stepped to the microphone at her father's memorial and through tears told the world how much she loved him. A moment that was raw, unplanned, and touched millions. But Michael's death also brought chaos, custody battles, and family drama, with her grandmother Catherine and cousin TJ eventually sharing guardianship. Adjusting to a normal school was tough, and by her early teens, Paris was carrying unbearable weight. At 14, she was sexually assaulted by an older stranger, but told no one. The trauma buried deep inside. By 15, she had turned to heroin and alcohol to numb the pain, leading to addiction. And in June 2013, she tried to take her own life, leaving a note and calling a hotline that may have saved her. But it wasn't the only time she struggled with self-harm. Years later, she admitted there were many times no one knew, even her own family. Her depression was compounded by being prescribed the same medication her father once took, making her feel trapped in his same tragic cycle. In 2020, Paris Hilton's shocking documentary about abuse in Utah boarding schools, inspiring Paris Jackson to reveal her own story. She too had been sent to one for nearly 2 years, enduring emotional abuse and manipulation so severe it left her with PTSD. She joined the Breaking Code Silence movement to shut these places down, determined to use her voice to protect others. Through all this pain, Paris began building her own career, signing million-dollar modeling deals with Calvin Klein, Chanel, and IMG models, appearing on the covers of Rolling Stone, Vogue, and the CR fashion book, and evolving her style from punk and grunge to bohemian chic and high fashion. She also pursued acting, landing roles in Star, Gringo, Habit, and American Horror Stories. Unafraid of controversial roles or public backlash, in music she found her truest voice, first with her band The Soundflowers alongside Gabriel Glenn, then as a solo artist after their breakup. Her haunting single Let Down and debut album Wilted proved that she was more than Michael Jackson's daughter. She was an artist in her own right, but through all this, Paris never forgot her father's warnings about his death. She maintained that powerful forces wanted him gone, and that she would move carefully in seeking justice. Family fights over Michael's estate added to her burdens, but Paris remained unafraid to speak up, even standing up to her Aunt Janet during a heated public argument. Her personal victories were as inspiring as her career. On January 7th, 2025, she celebrated 5 years of sobriety, sharing her journey from the depths of heroin and alcohol addiction to living clean, crediting sobriety for giving her back her life, her music, her pets, and the ability to feel both pain and joy. Spiritually, she has embraced Wicca, Reiki healing, and a deep connection to nature. In her over 80 tattoos, many honoring her father, tell the story of her resilience. In love, she found happiness with actor Justin Long, getting engaged in December 2024 and even choosing their wedding date based on astrology. Financially, she is worth an estimated $150 million, combining her inheritance with her own earnings from modeling, acting, music, and smart investments. And despite criticism, like performing on the anniversary of her father's death, Paris stands firm in her choices, honoring Michael in her own way while serving as an ambassador for the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation, traveling to Malawi, raising funds, and fighting stigma. Paris Jackson's journey is one of pain, courage, rebellion, and love. A story that proves no matter how heavy the shadows, there is always light to be found. So if her courage and survival inspire you, make sure you subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin and press the bell icon so you never miss these incredible untold stories.